If you've previously suffered from back pain, you might want to listen to this video. My name is Dom and I'm the clinical lead physiotherapist here at Thorpes Physiotherapy, and you may have seen a few different videos before talking about what to do if you're suffering with back pain, but I'm more focused today on the happily ever after with back pain. Like, what do you do after the back pain's resolved? How do you go back to normality with that? Sometimes physiotherapists will get you back to just feeling okay, but we want you to thrive. So we're going to give you a few tips and pieces of advice to make sure that you can get back to the things that you want to do and try and keep the back pain in the rearview mirror. The first thing I'll say is when people do come into my clinic and their backs are feeling really good, they'll often kind of ask the question of like, well, how do I get back to the things that I love to do? And the main thing I'd say with that is take your time. So there's this concept called graded exposure where you gradually reintroduce yourself towards the things that you want to do. Our bodies adapt really well to the demands we put on them, but we do need to tread carefully with it. If you are coming off of an injury to your back or back pain, then you do want to kind of take your time with it. But if you take that step-by-step gradual approach, you can get back to where you need to go. I know it sounds overly simple, but it's one of those things that you do want to consider with it. You want to start small, you want to start slow and gradually build yourself up from there. See how you feel when you're doing it. The 3 time frames to be aware with any new exercise and activity is how do you feel during, how do you feel a couple of hours later, how do you feel the next day. Those are the 3 times you want to be aware of to make sure you haven't overdone it. Starting off gentle and then gradually building things up from there. The next thing to keep in mind with back pain is that exercise is a good treatment for it, but it's also a good prevention from it. If you can try and keep your back nice and strong with exercise, then research does show it's less likely that things will reoccur. Don't get me wrong, the advice in this video isn't going to make your back bulletproof, but it will give you the opportunities to keep it at bay. And if you do keep up with a regular exercise program, it gives you that opportunity to keep the back pain in the rearview mirror. The last thing I want to say with that as well is that there are different approaches to exercise you can take, and it doesn't really always matter too much which ones you're doing. You do want a good variety of exercise, but it's not all just about Pilates, it's not all just about yoga. Don't get me wrong, I do like Pilates, I do like yoga, and a lot of the exercises that they do in those exercise modalities, I do incorporate in my practice, but they're not the be all and end all with it. There is the whole thought about the core muscles as well. It's not all about just keeping the core nice and strong. For one thing, you can get your core muscles engaged by doing like weighted squats and things like that. When you're running, you're engaging your core muscles as well. So there are lots of variations you can do if you do want to make your core stronger. But one thing that we do know is that a variety of different exercises can reach the same goals of keeping your back in check with it as well. I tend to like having some form of cardio and some form of resistance work, and you do want to mix it up. The other thing is that you want your legs are the foundation for your back, and the stronger you keep your legs, the more it should look after your back, within reason. Keep in mind though, all of this is very general. If you want more individualized advice about what exercise would be good for you, what won't be good for you, you can always see one of our physiotherapists or our personal exercise specialist. If you have had a few things going on that mean that you do need to tread even more carefully than the average person, we're more than happy to go through and give you that bespoke information as you need it as well. Hopefully this has answered a few questions that you guys might have, or made you think about a few things if you are coming out at the tail end of having some back pain. But if you do want any more information about this, don't hesitate to give us a call. Always happy to answer any questions. Take care.